And looks like they're off.
And you can see the Grim Knight from Aero looking nice. It's definitely one of the nicer custom skins.
And it seems like the racers are playing on default tournament settings for this race. So starting in King's Pass with the easy settings as well, and the standard randomization too.
Yeah, which is pretty good. Like, as much as the random start location can be fun, some goals and stuff just are ridiculously easy. You'll spawn like right next to what you're meant to be talking to, and then it's basically just who pressed start faster and has faster loads.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's really hard to balance a bingo board around a random start like that. So
Stream Shield at Fury. Aero not electing to do the hard save, so that'll lose him a bit of time, but it doesn't, it's not too bad, especially with such a mid to late game balanced board. It's not like you've got 4 shops or Green Path Law tablets where every second early on really matters.
yeah, there's still a chance that there might be 1 or 2 quick goals that could be found in the shops, but that's about it. There's really not much.
Yeah, but you can see even now, like, he started off a few seconds ahead just from stream delay, and he's already probably 5 or 6 seconds behind.
Some free Geo in the shop from Iselda. And I'm double checking the board to make sure I'm not missing anything, but it looks like there's no goals there. So that's
Yeah, it's a bit of a bait because those 3 charms that are there are all ones that are really commonly, random goals. And 56 uninformed, going back to bench, you actually just need to go down the well and you get the bench unlocked automatically.
Arrow doing the same thing though. Oh, equipping quick slash. I see. A little bit more worth then. Arrow does choose to buy quick slash from the shop. I mean, they had 1k Geo at that point, so it's not too big of a trade-off to do so. We'll increase his DPS a little bit and get him a little bit closer to that 5 or more charms goal.
Yeah, definitely. It might end up hurting him if you've got like a stag chain early on or a couple of major items in shops, but otherwise it shouldn't hurt too much.
Was there anything there
Arrow
at Grubs? I
checking
didn't see anything.
grubs. I don't think there was anything. Apparently 10 grubs wings. Chat knows.
So that's a little bit of an information advantage that Arrow has on 56 at the moment.
Yeah, and like it kind of makes sense to check grubs, especially because you've got such a grub heavy board, so you're going to be getting them anyway. But I don't know, it's probably worth doing your crossroads first, just because unless it's at 1 or 2 grubs, it's not really going to make much of a difference to your early game, and kind of means that you're not throwing away the early checks. Although Aero going to do Morlet, so I'm not sure if he's just given up on crossroads and it's like, right, I want these checks and just pray that they're good.
Yeah, choosing to do a little bit more obscure stuff first, not super obscure, but opting for more of a full clear approach to crossroads, which I guess works in this scenario because there's not a threat of a ton of early goals. So this could end up paying off.
Yeah, that said though, 56 finding the hidden station stag, and there was a dreamer for 300 there, so you might end up taking that for easy right side access, easy fungal wastes access, and then you can get up to green path through that. It's definitely not logical progression because that costs 300. Sorry, infection pogos are inherently hard logic, but it does let him do that sequence break.
Please don't die here in this room, Arrow.
Oh
Please
no.
don't die.
Please don't. Okay, he's played it pretty safe. And Yusuf getting the Ancient Basin Lore tablet. So that's one quick goal for him. Hang on. There we go, we actually have colours now.
Yeah, Arrow definitely going for the full. Oh.
Oh, on the last game too.
Yeah. Looks like he's abandoning that. Not going to go back into the room to respawn it.
Yeah, he's really got that blackout brain going. Taking a really full clear approach, which I guess helps him if there's just, something random out of logic that's good. But overall, like, if you just count errors done, 2 checks basically that 56 hasn't, but 56 has managed to do a ton more checks and get a goal from it. So I think that optimizing for checks per minute is probably a bit better idea.
Arrow now seeing how 56 got down there to get the goal.
And checking Dirt Mouse Stag, which 56 didn't, but it's just a rancid egg, so unlucky. Exactly, Mithula, especially when you don't have that many in logic checks. You might as well stay in logic because you're guaranteed a progression item in the 4 checks or something you have left. So you're always going to be able to like get something in 4 checks. Whereas if you go out of logic and there's 30 checks and none of them are guaranteed to be progression, then you don't really want to roll those odds, especially like if you do a claw locked check or something that's claw locked and easy, and then you just do some spicy skip up to it and claw's all you're missing. Only the dupe can be there, whereas any other location, it can be either the vanilla claw or the dupe claw, so you've got a much better chance of that being the item you want.
Meanwhile, 56 finding Great Slash at False Knight. I didn't see what is the second. Was it Love Key? It looks like.
Yeah,
So
so
halfway there
collector
to 2
time.
nail arts.
And
There's
dive. That's big. He can't get 3 dive floors straight away. He can get the one into peak and the one with the fossilized gome, but then he still needs one more.
If he does choose to go out of logic here, he could get 2 resting grounds with that as well. And break into the tomb as the third one.
Yeah, that's probably pretty good because Crypts is also 2 checks and right side city access, which is really powerful just in general. And Lantern, okay, so that kind of puts that puts Crypts in logic now, so I wouldn't be surprised to see him checking that. Aero going for the infection pogo, so we'll see if this pays off.
Using it to get up to Salubra here.
A Queen Station Stag for Aero. But that's about it.
That's it.
So he doesn't know that there's the stuff pointing you to right side, so he might take that as that's your intended way out of Crossroads. No, take the dive floor. No. Okay, 56 going in the tollway. So you won't get a dive floor for that, but it is slightly faster. And Vengeful Spirit at Sly, so that'll be a bit more damage for Aero as well, once he can afford it.
Arrow quickly running out of money. He's bought a lot of things already this early.
Yeah, So hopefully there's nothing more that he has to spend money on, because he might end up having to farm that husk. Oh no, he's got infection, so it's even worse. And that's a lifeblood core, so that obviously points to Mantis Claw in the lifeblood core room. Ah, 56 getting hit on the last jump. That Crystal Hunter can just be such a pain.
That room infinitely easier when you can actually see, though.
Yeah, definitely. So for those that weren't around for it, the Rando 2 tournament, that was the invasion one, the way that worked was it removed the toll gate to Crystal Peak, so it was quite common for people to have to do that dark room with absolutely nothing, and it just looked terrible.
I don't know. That was one of my favorite routing decisions, but I'm also slightly masochistic.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure it's one of those things, once you know it, you know it, but it is someone from the outside looking in, it definitely seemed like a bit of a learning curve.
Yep, for sure. But with Lantern, obviously trivial, and you aren't sent back to the beginning of the room when you fall on the spikes, so...
And
Arrow just following in 56's footsteps here, gonna find the dive and the lantern and the love key. So early false night, fairly stacked actually.
yeah, and Vanilla Dream
Dream
Nail,
nail.
so that's quite good.
See what all these pickups are. Nothing useful yet. Shade Cloak.
Cloak at 584.
And
Sea
Crystal
Dash
Heart.
at 189. But yeah, at Rando Man, I thought these checks were supposed to be random. I just got a vanilla item. And a storeroom stag.
It'll be interesting to see if we find any horizontal movement anywhere else. Having two forms of it in, locked behind Essence is pretty foreboding to this being a very walk-heavy seed for quite a while.
Yeah, definitely. I wouldn't be surprised to see them killing two Dreamers just for C Dash at least. And that's also Parry Revic. Not Dreamers, Dream Warriors. Wouldn't say it's worth farming. I mean, they can't farm for Dash just yet, just because it was what 580 something, and they've only got access to 0 and no, hang on, 0 No Eyes and Elder Who, which is only 400, and No Eyes with like dive only is incredibly slow.
I like this play here from 56 going to check the crypts. A very item-dense area, especially once you have dive.
Yeah, for sure. And Resting Ground Stag really helpful if he wants to get to Resting Grounds from crits.
I think though, if you're these players, the next goal you'd want to rush would be that breakable floors with dive goal. But beyond that, I mean, you're kind of just in check mode right now to try and find some form of vertical movement or horizontal or any kind of progression, really. And there's
Oh,
quick
and that's a
focus.
goal. But yeah, sort of, it's a pretty late game geared board, so you're probably not going to see them going way out of their way to do stuff. That said, though, Kill Gorgeous Husk probably will be a thing quite soon. But you do need something to, get there, I think. That or it's just a deboost or something really weird.
Yeah, 56 chooses to go left here at the top of King Station. It's pretty easy to get the Gorgeous Husk. But if he goes to the Stag Station and sits on the bench, then that will require a deboost skip to get up to Gorgeous Husk, or he could just save quit back to the Resting Grounds bench and get up that way.
Yeah, you're right. I was trying to think of from the station, but yeah, from the top it should be fine. Aero, luckily, also electing to do the gauntlet, otherwise 56 very well could have got sniped on that goal.
And an interesting convergence here for this vessel fragment here. Not a place I would have expected both runners to be 15 minutes in, but here we are.
Not really, no. It'll be really disappointing when they both find out that it's terrible.
Pretty close, yeah. I wonder what the intended progression at this point is. I mean, it very well could be something at the Stag Station here or at this relic.
Yeah, there was also...
If I were interpreting the feed, I would think you'd want to go to Green Path just because of the Balder kill with dive, but who knows?
Yeah. I mean, you've got the Boulder kill, plus you've got the Queen Station stag, so
Yep.
It's kind of pointing towards Green Path if there's nothing here. Ideally, I would have liked to have seen someone pick up the 3 dive floors, but and 56, he decides to go to the left, but stuffs it up. So that could very well be a goal for Aero.
Aero immediately choosing to go right, not even thinking about going the Gorgeous Husk.
And 56 gonna check storerooms, which is probably a pretty good idea. There's 3 checks in logic, and then 1 that requires a pogo out of logic.
Aero now heading left into City of Tears, presumably to get to Lem and sell all the relics that he has. I don't know what else this could be pointing towards at this point.
In chat, C-Dash was about 200 and something. And apparently it's a mild skip to do Dream Warriors without dash, so that definitely can't be intended logic just at the moment. Kind of makes sense for Elder Who, I guess, but I don't really see how dash affects the others a ton. And that's Gorgeous Husk down for 56.
You can see the visible confusion or frustration with Aero there, moving back and forth really quick, trying to decide what to do next. And he's going to buy VS.
He's going to get his VS. So that will make some boss fights a bit easier, especially if they do end up having to do Dream Warriors. Dive it doesn't even count towards the mini boss macro just because it's so useless for them because they all float above the ground basically. And strength for 56, which isn't a goal, but it is a nice, aid to combat.
How many charms are the players up to at this point? It's got to be getting close to the 5 charm goal.
Yeah, definitely. I wouldn't be surprised to see someone duck back to shops, or in 56's case, actually check shops, because he's got 1.6k, so he can afford to, if he's on 3 charms or something, just buy the last couple. Because they got Dream Shield from Fury, he just got Strength, and I wouldn't be surprised if he ran into one other junk. Oh, he got Lifeblood Core as well. So that's 3. So 2 cheap charms from shops, and that's an easy goal. And don't kill this. Okay, so hopefully he doesn't get trolled by the platform here. No, he just quits out. But that is a dive floor, so he's on 2. Oh no, wait, that's 3, because Crips. What was his 3rd? Yeah, that's 2.
Arrow choosing to try for the pogo off the squid instead of just using the log. There we go. Going back for the intended platform.
And grass blocks get... never mind.
It'll be interesting if Arrow will rush for the 10 grubs to get his wings, I believe it was.
Yeah, I assume that's what he's doing, just because it's pretty hard to pass up vertical.
If he
And
goes
it
for
is...
that and 56 doesn't check grubs for a while, that's a pretty big movement advantage.
Does anyone know what the 3rd dive floor 56 mark got was? Is there like 2 in the one dive for something? The floor on the way to Watcher's Spire? The glass floor? Uh,
Oh, he broke the one in the 2 elevator room? Is that what it was? I didn't see him do it.
yeah, I didn't see it, but that makes sense. And 56 going to get his essence for that C-Dash and Spirit's Glade now, I assume.
Yeah, it seems like 56 just making a lot more efficient routing choices at this point.
Yeah, definitely. The Morlek and attempted Gomer and Marshard and stuff at the start really just hurt Arrow a fair bit. And even now, like electing to go the way up to upper green path that you have to pay 50 geo for, when you're this low on geo, it's sort of just going to all add up.
Yeah, and it's not like this bench is super useful as a warp point either, so I mean, I just go the normal way instead of using this one.
Yeah, definitely. And especially because the enemies are always lined up on that left side, you can always get the shortcut, so it makes it even less detrimental to just go around.
Looks like 56 finally heading to check some shops now. Gonna stop and get a grub along the way. I think I'm gonna call it now that Arrow's gonna find Isma's at Hornet and go. Well, he still couldn't even do that, so never mind. I was gonna say go check Shape of Fun right after, but needs some form of vertical to do so.
Yeah, so maybe he'll get his Ismas and then 10 grub wings. And white fragment for Aero. Unluckily, this isn't Blackout, so we don't really care.
But the Infinite Soul, though. Distant
And
Village
a distant
Stag.
village stag, so that is a goal. So, gonna get that straight away.
And Claw.
Oh,
He
wow.
doesn't have money.
There's that geo routing.
Yep.
But he does have the knowledge, and I don't see 56 going to Green Path anytime soon. He might once he realizes how good grubs are, just because there's 4 in Green Path that are all pretty quick.
Yeah, but that might be a while too. So a potential
Yeah.
chance for Arrow to come back here. And on top of that, 56 is going to be de-incentivized to ride to Distant Village just because that goal's already been marked. So it is a quick check, so he might do it anyway, but potentially a leg up that Arrow could have here.
Yeah, for sure. And 56 also doesn't know where Wings is, so that's a pretty big disadvantage. And 56 doing what we said earlier and just buying a couple of cheap charms.
Arrow's going to farm the Vengefly King Geo here to get to the 250.
Looking like any percent.
And he has enough now. All right.
For that said, not that huge for this board, so it doesn't give you any super freebies. You've got what, Rescue Zone in Deep Nest. Check Shape of Un once they get Ismas or C Dash, a couple of other things, and not much self-preservation. Progress towards check all grubs in Deep Nest. Actually, can you just do it? You've got what? Nosk. That one. Yeah, you can just do check grubs in Deep Nest.
It's a fairly long goal at this point to do without horizontal movement, but
Oh, for sure.
can definitely be
you
done.
can do Enter Godhome and yeet your cups, get your cutscenes back early. But overall, like, it's really not that big.
Making the decision to go into finds Crossroads Stag, into God, what is this place even called? I'm having a brain fart.
Beastin?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the one. No devout skip, unfortunately. Obviously hasn't watched Mothy's low percent run.
Beastin is pretty slow without a lot of damage, though, getting past a couple of these.
Yeah,
Devout.
for sure, especially because they don't have Hera, so that last devout's still there.
Yeah. A fair number of checks here, though, that there's no way 56 is going to check these anytime soon. So
God,
if there is something here, it's kind of a gamble that Arrow's taking, but if it pays off, could be big.
That seems to be the theme for the seed, though. He's been taking a lot of gambles on, weird stuff.
Yeah, at some
But
point,
one of them has paid off,
house
and that
wins, so
might be all he needs. probably like to see a bit more of a focus on goals now, but you know, it is what it is.
$56 gonna fight No Eyes, it looks like.
Yep, so getting that C dash essence. And Aero electing to not kill the last devout to check Aero.
Ooh.
I don't know, that's probably not a great choice, but especially because you've got Nightmaking Grim, so you might as well get the bench in Beast Den as well. Just finish what you've started. And a simple key for Aero. I mean, even without Dream now, you can check it, and then if it's good, like you've got the bench to come back and get it. Because you don't need Dream now to preview. And it saves doing all of those devouts that you've already done again.
Yeah, and gives you a fast way back as well. You don't have to take the stag all the way there and then get into the... Can you even get back up there? Can you take that bench again to get back to the backside of Beast Den?
I'm not sure.
Because he didn't break that breakable floor by the bench.
Oh no,
so...
I think you can go in that thing. 56 getting beat by No Eyes. But yeah, you can repeat the bench in New Rando.
Okay, so he has a way back, but still, it's a lot more time to spend instead
Mega
of,
slow.
yeah, just going and getting the bench anyway. Once 56 gets this, though, that'll be horizontal with C dash, so definitely worth it. And this is the breakable floor right there that Arrow's on, that glass that 56 got before.
Big today, I learned.
There's a lot of those weird breakable floors here in City of Tears that you can actually get.
And so it just breaks and it doesn't really change anything.
Makes it more difficult to
What
even get across there without dash or anything.
Yeah. I can tell you how much Geo a Glimback drops, but I couldn't tell you about breakable floors.
So Arrow doesn't have Dream Nail yet, does he?
No.
I don't
So
see it.
also getting a bit lost in this dark room, but finds his way out.
Oh, he's got the camera bug as well.
Do you mean a Glimback, Jamie? The big ones, they drop 7.
Heading up to... Oh, it looks like he's going for the City of Tears grubs.
Yeah, that makes sense. Claw and Dive is like all you need for that.
I would like this play a lot more if he had gone to Resting Grounds and had Dream Nail at this point, because that would put Soul Tyrant as available too. Although they don't have much damage at this point, so it would
I was gonna say, I'm not sure if Aero would want to do Soul Tyrant.
Yeah, especially not without dash. Makes it a bit more difficult too.
In Jamie, I'm pretty sure it's like 7 or 8. Could be less, but I think it's more than a Glimback, so I'll say 8.
How much does a Glimback draw?
7. Because there's the one you kill in any percent if you're low on Geo.
Is this Geo, oh my god. I'm struggling with words today. Is this Geo Drop Trivia Hour with chat? Is that what we're doing now?
I think so.
Alright, chat, what's the next random enemy?
and Crystal Heart for 56. And I'd like to see him get the Spirit Slade parries now, just because he has time, basically. He also can do Glowing Womb now. He would need to get the Dreamer for Infection, so he can do the Pogo up, but
he already
it's
has the
doable.
Dreamer, so he could do it now.
50 Jamie. Oh, he did go back and buy the Dreamer. Okay, so yeah, he can just do it now, and I think that's what he's doing.
Yep.
If he can stop getting bullied by these guys. Infected Vengeflies, just terrible enemies, by the way.
They really are. How much geo do those drop?
I don't know, probably like 20. Like 18 or something like that.
I'm gonna bring a Vengefly up to be able to get up there.
Oh, it is 20. Shit. Come on, you just need to pogo the Infection 56. Oh, never mind.
Just have to pogo it better.
Yeah. So now he has to do some Aspid herding, so this could be a while.
Can't you just leave the room and come back and it'll be there again?
Oh, there we go. But then you have to do like the Infected Vengefly pogo into the room again. .56 does have VS for this room, which makes it a lot nicer. Because it one-shots the, what's it called? Aspids, but you just need one nail hit on the spawning ones as well.
What are the aspids called that spawn the little ones? Womb mothers, or I honestly don't know.
Something like that.
And Descending Dark, wow.
And D-Darks, that's a 2-for-1 on goals.
I think that just gives away exactly where it is to Arrow, marking those back to back.
Yeah, definitely.
I'm not sure he really cares though, because
yeah, it's not really worth it for how long that arena would take, and you know, he's not super hurting for damage, and the damage that he is looking for is probably stuff to kill Soul Tyrant, and D-Dark is incredibly useless for that. Does he know to hit the grub through the floor? Yes, he does. Nice. So that's a new Cure Well thing. It brings it back in line with 1221.
if you're Arrow in this situation, what do you do as a way to come back into this? I mean, it's already 7-1 at this point, and I don't see a super clear path to a bunch of goals.
Yeah, I think probably pray that there's like dash or something, or another. Really, just pray there's dash at Soulmaster, and then like I don't know, Shade Soul and Shaman Stone in the checks after Soulmaster, and then you just quickly do Soul Tyrant, and then I don't know, the very next after that you go to do Cliffs, and you run into like Grimchild, a Charm Notch, a couple of journals, and I don't know, a magical stag to Godhome.
Yeah, I think you almost have to just hope that 56 never finds verticality.
Yeah, I
and
think
eventually runs out of things that he can do.
even just with wings, 56, I think, can finish.
Oh, for sure.
So he really just has to, get praying that he manages to dodge claw the entire time and that you can snipe him on a couple of goals. So 56 leaving Sanctum now, which is not what Aero wants to see. We're hoping that he would follow you right the way and then you end up just like beating him to everything. So yeah, it's not great.
Looks like 56 is a little bit lost on what to do here, though, without having vertical movement. Thinking
And he
about
comes,
going down to Lem, and now he won't be able to get up to here after he beats this room.
yeah. Yeah, this isn't. I would have liked him to, continue with Green Path Fungal, those really early game areas that you can do with nothing. But I don't know what he's doing. Does he know you can't enter?
I think
He
maybe
does
he was
now.
hoping the Spell Twister or the Soul Twister would respawn to Pogo there, which he
Yeah.
might now that he's set out on a bench.
Yeah, I think that's what he's going for.
I know there's a scenario where that enemy respawns. I just don't. It
Yeah, I thought
seems
it
to
was
change with every patch.
benching. Maybe you have to have entered Sanctum and came back, because if you die in Sanctum and then have to like come out in all skills from the shortcut or something, then he's definitely there on your way out.
Yeah, and killing Soulmaster might be the trigger for that too, but I honestly don't know.
Yeah, no clue. Parry Ravik from 56 would make a lot of sense right now too, since that 200 does open Spirit's Glade. Instead, he goes for this Infection Pogo, which also not a terrible idea. It does give you Sly access, not Sly, Leg Eater access, which is a shot.
Arrow, please do not die at this point. This would be salt in the wound for Arrow if he dies at the end of
Yeah,
Soulmaster.
this would be huge if he dies here. But Soulmaster must be on like 10 health.
Oh no!
Oh, F. And 56 showing why Infection Pogos are in hard logic here. So if he can stuff this up like 20 more times, it gives.
There you got
Never
it.
mind, I was going to say it gives Aero time to do Sanctum again.
Yeah, what do you do as Arrow at that point? Do you go back for your shade? And for I think you have to go back.
I think you have to. It's 3 checks and the grub. And like, that grub will put you on 10. He didn't even get a closer bench. Oh, this is painful. Oh, he's just getting this grub, getting his wings, and then again, I really hope he goes back.
Second
And
nail
that's
art for
another goal.
56.
What was it? Cyclone. Nice. So he's got a better boulder killer now. And getting a cheap relic. And is there a spend or a buyout leg eater? No. Why did he buy a Wanderer's Journal for 290? They only give 200.
Probably to get closer to that goal.
Oh, there's the 5 journals. Okay.
Yeah.
I was gonna say, what are you doing? And that is... Alright, so Aero's gonna get his wings now.
Second simple key at 17 grubs. Hard to say that would be worth it though.
Yeah, I wouldn't think so. And I think there was a total of 3 journals in shops, so 56 should be able to get the full 5. And up there for the C-dash, nice.
Arrow gonna make some quick checks here using wings.
And it looks like Yusuf's gonna go. 56 is gonna go for the essence for dash, which isn't a bad idea, but probably wouldn't have minded seeing, you know, the couple of goals that he can do relatively quick done first.
Yeah, I'm surprised he's not rushing the Revit goal with
Yeah,
Gmail
like,
being it's such an easy location, and
yeah, there's nothing to say that Aero doesn't have it.
yeah,
So, I mean, it's, yeah, not that hard, especially since you can leave and heal if you're really not comfortable with it. Oh, wow. That's cloak for Aero, and 56, if he gets his from Essence, like, he's going to be kicking himself if he ever runs into that. That's pretty good for Aero. So Aero is now up both vertical and cloak, which he really needs to just make the most of this. I'd like to see check Stagnus Vessel Fragment, and then probably the grub goals, check Shape of no, probably get Ismas for that. Enter Godhome, Rescue Zone in Deep Nest. I mean, this is about the biggest olive branch that you can hope the game would give you.
yeah. Arrow's got absolutely an enormous progression lead right now on 56, but I mean, obviously 56, 7 goals ahead. So it's quite an ask to come back from that, but
Yeah, if you're
maybe let
Aero,
him
you're
let it happen.
just trying to lock 56 out of the easy stuff so that even when he does get vertical, he can't get those easy ones.
Yeah.
So if I was Aero, I'd be check leggy to get this bench, and then just focus goals for like the next 10 minutes. Aero might snipe him on these Wanderers journals. Oh, a Palor. Okay, so he's thinking about Soul Tyrant, I imagine. Please just do Cliffs first. Yes, okay, so this is good.
This will reveal that he has vertical though to 56. Although 56 has no idea where he's been at this point, so could be
Yeah,
anything.
it's been, 48 minutes, and since Aero's only marked 1 goal, you don't really have much idea where he's been. Whereas if, you've marked a ton of goals lately, you can have a pretty good idea of where people are.
Yep.
Oh. And 56, struggling with the low percent explosion pogo. Obviously a bit uninformed.
This is
Want
an
to
interesting
be,
choice to me to go for this.
yeah. Now what? No, you want to be more lined up with that left mushroom. You just like stutter step over.
I mean, like, what do you hope to get by going that
Yeah, it's
way?
like what?
One check?
The Mantis Claw check, and then you can't even get out, so you can't get the bench. It's pretty bad.
Yeah, there's no goals here. You're doing something that's obviously out of logic for what they're
Oh,
doing.
and
There's Wraiths.
Arrow giving away where the Stagnus Vessel Fragment is. Oh, sorry, what the Stagnus Vessel Fragment is, where Wraith is.
Ooh, and a journal.
And a journal, so hopefully that reminds him that he does only need 5.
How many is that now for him? 3?
3, I think, and there's 3 in shops.
This could be the start of a comeback.
But can you get out of the actual pit where Claw is Cthulhu? I'm pretty sure you can't.
No, you need some form of vertical to get out of that.
Yeah. And Stagnus stag for 56, so Aero getting that goal by the skin of his teeth, and that also means 56 probably doesn't actually think Aero has vertical now, because that's a
Yeah.
pretty reasonable alternate explanation. That's probably the worst possible thing he could have ran into right now. Also, does he know you can't get out there? There we go.
Yep. You need something to be able to leave that spot, like a bench warp. Yeah, really unfortunate timing for 56 on that find. Yeah, especially interesting that he was going for that pogo too, since he had C dash and could get over here anyway.
Yeah, let's say it doesn't make a ton of sense. Are we going to see that one? No. Yeah, that parry setup on the big guy is so nice. And goes for but misses the fireball skip, not knowing you have to do the turnarounds, I think. And now just playing Mantis herding 2020.
Yeah, getting up there really sucks
Unsuccessfully.
without anything. Choosing to abandon it. Looks like he's going back though.
Yeah, I don't know why it's not in logic. You might as well sort of just stick to what's quick and easy for now.
Yep. So 56 really opening the door here for Aero to make a comeback.
Definitely. It's really given him, basically in the time that 56 has done these 2 checks, he was able to fully clear cliffs.
Yeah, Aero just is much quicker at this point. His progression really starting to pay off. I mean, 56 obviously spent a lot of his early game looking for goals and pursuing them. But Aero is, until 56 can find progression and catch up that way, he's just gonna have just gonna be much faster and much more efficient at what he's doing. So
And that's 2 simple keys for Aero, and we'll get to see these 2 checks in Pleasure House. Meanwhile, 56. Oh, and another cloak
wow.
for 56 there at Mantis Claw, so that's incredibly lucky. All that paid off.
Probably a little bit frustrating too that he spent all this time getting Dream Warriors only to be given a cloak anyway.
Yeah, definitely. So all that essence is quite useless now. Hopefully at least he parries Ravik to get something out of it.
We'll see where he decides to go.
Is
Not
this
sure where this is
always?
going. Probably just to sell relics, I guess. Check rafters.
.56 might also think that he has a movement advantage just because he probably thinks that Aero didn't do that skip to Mantis Claw, and if he thinks that he got the Stagnus Stag, then he has no real indicator that he's actually behind. He might get clued in if Aero starts marking goals really quick, but apart from that, yeah, it's pretty hard to tell.
Yeah, pretty unfortunate that he still hasn't checked what the grubs are. Seems to be a pervasive theme that nobody likes to check that, but in this case, hurting him quite a bit.
And yeah, there's been a free goal on the board for so long now. Whoever goes to shops first basically will get the Wanderer's Journal goal. If Aero gets it, it's progress to a comeback. If 56 gets it, it's just shutting the door that little bit more. Also, I think... Oh yeah, never mind.
Wonder where Arrow's gonna choose to go now that he has Nail 2.
Yeah, I'm guessing
think
this is at least Soul Master, ideally Soul Tyrant play. And getting like all those city grubs.
Seems weird to not just warp to the Watcher Knight's bench though.
Yeah, I
Choosing
don't
to
know.
run all the way back instead. I think did 56 buy out the shops of journals? No, he didn't. He still has some here.
No, so there's 2 left here. So that's 1, and there should be another one.
I know he
Oh
bought
no,
one
that was his
before,
5th.
so
Oh no, 1 here.
there's
There we
one.
go. So yeah, that hurts if you're Aero.
Yep.
Especially because you have 1600 Geo, and you know they were there. You literally just had to go back.
Yeah, was a very attainable goal, and looks like 56 is going for the Charm Notches one now.
Yep, so both of these, if you're Aero, you're kicking yourself.
And that's 6 notches.
Yep. So that's up to 10 now, and that was probably 2 of the easiest goals for Aero that he's going to just say goodbye to. And gets his shade back, so he's got even more Geo that he could have spent, basically.
Trying to think of where 56 could be going right now and what he could be doing. I think he's starting to think the same thing. I mean, he really needs
think
verticality.
Yeah, I think you just go back to areas you haven't checked, because I mean, Green Path's relatively untouched. This will probably be a Stag Nest and down into Green Path, like cliffs down into Green Path, which is probably a pretty good play.
Yeah.
You're
I mean,
guaranteed Wraiths. Oh,
I
he's
still
just
think you
getting
go.
Wraiths?
Yeah, I still think you
Okay,
go and
no,
get Revik now, though. Get that
yeah.
11th goal and then just search for progression.
Yeah, I mean, you've probably been doing Revik for the last 20 minutes, to be honest. Alright, so that's Soul Master down. You have full soul, you don't need to hit the totem. And Arant's egg for his troubles, so not ideal.
This should be the City of
And we
Fear
might see
goal, though, I think, for him.
Yeah, definitely. If he doesn't die first, please. And free check here. Just a Mars shard, so Sanctum overall being terrible. But he will get his... Oh, Fake
Ooh,
Dive
got
as
the
well,
fake dive.
nice. So that brings it back to 10-5 now, which is better, but yeah. Alright, so this is probably Rescue Zone in Deep Nest and All Grubs Deep Nest, which is a pretty good play. That's two goals. If he runs into like a Dream Nail here and manages to snipe 56 on the parry Revit goal, then that makes his just path to closing this out that much harder, which is really what you want to see if you're Aero right now.
Yeah, just imagine the world at this point, too, if Arrow has those 2 goals that were easily attainable in the shop. I mean, we're sitting at 8 to 7 at that point instead of,
Yeah,
where we are
that would
now.
have been really hard for 56 to come back from. And I mean, that can really all kind of just be traced back to Aero dying in Sanctum and then not having the Geo.
Mm-hmm.
But Aero seems to be a bit more composed now, probably a bit more comfortable with all the movement. So as long as he gets these grubs, gets Zote, and then wouldn't be surprised if we saw peaks grubs from him. Then you're looking at and into Godhome if he ever finds a dream nail.
Yeah, we could see peaks turn into resting grounds check as well if he does the full loop there. So
yeah, definitely. And that's the other one of quick focus, deep focus. Unfortunately, a bit late.
yeah, you can just see how many checks Arrow's
And
getting
Dita.
ahead of 56 here, just one after another.
Yeah, I mean, just Arrow's checks per minute so much higher with all this movement.
Mm-hmm.
He just has to work so much less for the same amount of goal checks. So it lets him think a bit more about like his big picture routing too. And 56, having not checked grubs, doesn't get that one that's staring him right in the face there. It would have cost like 2 seconds, and now going back's going to take like 40. Vanilla Locus.
I think Arrow still has yet to get the Mimic grub in Deep Nest here, though. So unless I missed that, still has to leave Deep Nest and go back out to get that.
Yeah, definitely. He might just do it through the breakable floor on the right here. But I imagine he'll do Zope first, just because it's like right here. Alright, 56 gets that grub at least. I don't know why he went to all the effort of getting that one and then turned up the one in turned down the one in Cliffs. And 56 could get his claw here, as long as he rides the stag that's right here. Right. Surely
he
you don't
doesn't.
buy it without riding it. Or you do.
That's unfortunate.
Hopefully it's just one he does first, but still, yeah, it hurts a bit. And rescues are in deepness marked for Arrow.
That should be a definitive clue that Arrow has verticality. I don't think you can do this
Yeah,
without it.
definitely. No, I don't think you can either. Unfortunately, it took Arrow a long time after deepness to mark something, so... Oh, is this a stag? It's a stag. Yep, now ride the stag. There we
There
go.
it is.
Okay, so... That's... 56 knows he's been down a long time now. Yeah.
Yeah, we would be tied right now if
Yeah.
man. I should probably stop
And
saying the what if kind of stuff because,
56 now going to get his Parry Revic finally. I don't know what Arrow's doing. Why don't you just finish Deepness Grubs? Unless he's going really big brain and thinks that that's what 56 will think he's doing, and so he can get another one and try and go for the 2-for-1. 56 looking pretty comfortable with these. Never mind. Oh my god, I shouldn't have said anything. Sorry, what I meant to say was Revic parries are literally impossible. If he ever does this, it'll be a miracle. And this looks like it'll be Enter Godhome for Aero.
Don't you need Dream
And a
Nail to do
QG
that?
stack too. Oh yeah, you need Dream Nail. I don't know what Aero is doing then. There's plenty of goals he can do. I shouldn't have said anything about Revit berries.
There are quite a few checks down here in upper left waterways. I don't know what you would call it, but
Yeah, it's definitely a good area, but when you're down 10 to 6, you kind of just need to be going for goals at this point.
yeah, there's not really much random that he can get that would benefit him. I mean, a couple things. I mean, Dream Nail would help, obviously, for 2.
Yeah.
Um,
Alright, 56 going
yeah,
for the Pogo setup now,
there we
which
go.
is way more consistent. There we go. I mean, it's impossible. There we go. Okay, I can talk about it now.
There's 3. Easy.
Now that's 11. The door getting, you know, just that bit narrower for Aero now. Like I say, just really needs to be probably focusing the goals you can do and just do checks that are convenient along the way and hope that one of those is Dream Nail. This going out of your way for, I mean, like, Brett is not even that fast. You might as well just get the,
Ooh,
like, 2 grubs you have left in Deep Nest or something. And what was that for 56?
Grimchild
Oh, okay.
opens up MKG. Let's go.
Yeah. And if he does NKG and Godhome, those synergize really well, and that's 13. But it
Looks like
looks
he's
like
gonna
he's
do
doing
the
Dream Trees, but
yeah.
missed the door, and now he doesn't know where it is.
I mean, I could see a scenario here where Arrow has a chance at coming back after the 4 Dream Trees, where
Yeah.
he gets Crystal Peak grubs, Deep
Oh,
Nest
tier
grubs.
for Eros, that's check Ismas. I mean, check Shapervon.
Oh yeah.
Do the Dream Tree while you're here, it's one of the fastest ones.
Well, he doesn't have Dream now, so he still can't.
Oh, yeah. Man, imagine not having Dream. Up 1 arrow. There you go. And a third simple key. And yeah, this does look like it'll be the NKG rush from 56, which is about what we expected to see.
Interesting
He
choice
does
to do
have,
this though, instead of doing the Dream Tree goal.
yeah. Yeah, he might just go Enter God Home. No, but he's doing Grim. Yeah, I don't know. It's a mystery. I kind of gave up trying to figure out what people were doing 30 minutes ago.
And he could just be checking it while he's here and then go and do the trees, but
Yeah, I mean, you've got Nail 0. Why are you even trying to check this?
yeah.
And Arrow just finishing off Fungal Core with the Super Secret Seal. And just an Arcane Egg, which isn't really what he needs right now. Because unfortunately, you can't trade an Arcane Egg for a Dream Nail.
I just want to say too that Arrow's been, if he were playing Blackout, he would actually be doing super well right now. Just maybe a little bit unfortunate or different focus from maybe what he should be focusing on, and that being the actual win condition of the board. But
Yeah, definitely. Like I say, the Blackout Brain kind of hurt Arrow this race,
it's
especially early.
it's a hard mindset to get out of if you do a lot of blackouts.
Yeah. Yeah, you kind of think, oh, this is just this one, but different. You know, it's not just, oh, well, I have to try and beat them to the goals. Like, there's a whole lot more nuance to that. And you can't just sort of just spam checks and then do everything at the end. And Aero looking a bit lost. Might be checking his helper log. Or Googling grub locations.
Yeah, he might be thinking about where the last deep nest grub is at, how to get there.
He's what the Nosk one and the Mimic one left?
Or did he get all of them? Yeah, he just marked it. Okay.
Oh, okay.
Probably just double checking that he got all of them.
Not gonna lie, I kind of been looking at 56's Grim fight for the last 5 minutes. 3. So this is a shape of uncheck, which is what we wanted to see.
Yep. I would love to see him go into Crystal Peak after this.
Yeah, that would be ideal. Crystal Peak, run into a Dream Nail, or drop into Resting Grounds and get Dream Nail. That'd both be nice. I
And
think
he could immediately
kind
enter
of,
God Home, Soul Tyrant. Like,
yeah.
there's a chance.
And even just immediately enter God Home, you're at least locking 56 out of that really easy one. But unless Lake of Un is Dream Nail, I don't see that happening. So it's just going to be, can Aero get 6 goals in the time it takes 56 to beat NKG?
Which is possible. I mean, getting to NKG is going to take 56 a little bit of time yet, and he still doesn't really have any damage. So there's the threat of dying there, and while leaving 4 Dream Trees on the board still is, leaving one extra thing that Arrow can use to get back into it. So
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, I think 56 is just going for content at this point if you're doing NKG when 4 Dream Trees exists.
yep.
Something to note as well is there's 4 Dream Nails, and we've only seen 1 of them.
Yeah, very possible that Arrow will just run into one while doing grubs in peak, and it looks like he is going there, so that's awesome.
56 going for the Cyclone Lantern strats, but messing it up a couple of times. But, it's the thought that counts.
Yeah, it seems like 56 will be going into God Home to get that goal and also do NKG for the finish.
Yeah, I think Arrow's only hope at this point is basically just 56 chain dying to NKG. But apparently he was the second person to beat Nightmare God Grim, so I don't love his odds.
Yeah, it's about the only hope at this point for Arrow to come back. He'd have to get every other goal leading up to that one and having that actually be the tiebreaker, which pretty slim to none of that happening at this point.
Yeah. Especially with NKG being in Spirit's Glade. Grimchild being in Spirit's Glade.
Yep.
Arrow going for the nice little shortcut there. Yes, please drop into resting grounds. Please.
Arrow's finally gonna get his dream nail.
Unfortunately, a little bit late. But can at least, you know, make it closer. He doesn't. Oh, he doesn't have C dash. Damn. Arrow with the loud grass. And Arrow probably kicking himself a bit here.
Immediately going for dream
Going
trees.
straight
Like
for the 4 dream trees, which is pretty good.
$56, maybe a bit lost on where Godhome is.
Yeah, I'm not sure. There we go. He's there now.
Yeah, he's got it now.
Arrow going for Soul Tyrant now.
All right, here we go. NKG for the win.
All right. At risk of cursing it, 56 looking incredibly comfortable with this fight, so I don't seem having much issues.
$56 is at 12 goals, by the way.
There we go.
All right, a quarter of the way through.
This fight's actually going better than his Troop Master fight.
It's one of those weird scenarios where you get used to the faster of the two bosses, and then doing the slower of the two really just throws you off.
Yeah, definitely.
I run
And
into the
Arrow
same.
on Cell Tyrant Phase 2.
Yep. I run into the same issue with what Arrow is doing, where Soulmaster is so slow compared to Tyrant that just end up hitting you because he's so slow.
Yeah, it's really weird that it just, messes with the muscle memory so much, just because they're so similar, but the timings are just slightly different.
Yep.
And that's Tyrant down for Arrow. And 3/4 done for NKG. But yeah, the comeback from 7-1 to 13-9 is not bad. And it looks like NKG will go down before he can finish the 4 Dream Trees, but still.
Yep. A bit unfortunate that I guess neither player took an earlier advantage of, the journal's goal that was in the shops for so long. I think that was for sure a big turning point in this race, especially for Arrow.
Yeah, definitely.
He would be ahead at this point if he had gotten those.
Yeah, it's been a few races now where there's been stuff in shops that both players have had access to for a long time, and then the first person to actually just go back and get it got a huge advantage.
Yep.
And that's NKG down.
It's a GG. You and Markham is done?
Yep.
Okay.
And there we go. So they should get their invites now, and we can invite them in.
Hello.
GG.
Thank you. That was good.
Nice NKG fight.
Solid
Yeah.
content ending.
Hello.
GG.
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 Oh, the one time I skip resting grounds. Ooh. As soon as I found the dream nail and he marked Inner God Hall, I'm like, okay, as long as he doesn't have Grimchild or Elegant Key, I think I'm okay. And then Mark Knight and Grim.
Yeah, so you actually were up Wings and
Man,
Claw
I feel it
for
on
a
the top
very
claw.
long time.
Because I have a feeling whenever he did get dissed as Village Stag, seeing that I had barked it, he probably didn't bother to go for a while.
He went pretty much straight away, but it took him a long time to get Claw. It was basically up when he marked into Godhome, I think it was, where he got it.
Oh, wow.
So
Did he get the same claw I got, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Where
Yeah,
were the other Dream Nails?
I don't know. Like the opening I had, like the opening route I took wasn't so much bad. It's just there was so many goals that depended on finding things this seed that it was just really unfortunate. I even
Morlick
risked.
early was questionable.
Yeah. Well, I have a habit of doing Morlick early. I'm like, if I know my opponent's probably not doing this. If it's something huge, it could pay out. But no, I even says I saw Dreamer on Hidden Station. I'm like, nah, I'll leave it. No, screw this. I'm going to infect it and go to City after I'm done with Crossroads.
Yeah.
I didn't see the Gorgeous Husk goal until I was almost to Lem. And I was like, oh no, let me bench back and go do this. I start heading towards it. Mark, oh.
I went straight for resting grounds because
Yeah.
Soulcatcher was Lantern.
Yeah, Lantern was nice. I followed that same route literally after. I followed that same route. I was like, you know what? This was later though. This when I finally went to Resting Grounds. I was like, okay, let me go through the early peak. Go to Crystallized Mound on the way because I need to do the grub. So let's get this grub, then drop down.
Oh yeah, 56. 10 grubs with wings.
Oh my lord.
Yup, I rushed it. I rushed grubs. It's why I went ahead and tried doing all the city grubs early, which went fine until I somehow got clipped at the end of Soulmaster and didn't go back till I did more thing. I think like the bottom corner of the sprite hit me or something. Because I'm like, wait, how did I just die there? So I left my shade there for a while and did a bunch of stuff. I had to sit for a moment and make sure I got all 5 deep nest scrubs. Because I don't usually do
so-
those scrubs.
The other 3 dream nails
Let's
were
hear it.
Colo 2, Hive
Yeah.
Mars Shard, and Flower Quest.
Bruh.
Oh my god!
That's some Plando level rubbish.
Orlando level bad. Aren't you glad Dreamgate's not on this board?
Yeah, or like Killer King's mold.
Oh no.
That's incredible.
Oh. Now, as far as like gameplay wise is considered, I liked how I opened. It's just the board didn't care so much that way. And then I got dive, and I was like, okay, break 3 floors. Crap, I don't think I have 3 floors I can break yet. And then
The big thing, I think, was there were 3 journals in shops, and I think there was a
was
charm
there
notch at
3
low
in
essence, and there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I never checked essence at all. I didn't. I
Yeah,
bought one
even,
journal
like-
from shop. I wish one journal short, and he narked it. I'm like, darn. I realized he had Dream Nail and stuff already once he did the Perry Revic. I'm like, no. I shifted at that point immediately to checks because I'm like, I need Dream Nail or this is over.
Yeah, he actually put off Parry Revic for about 40 minutes.
Yeah, that's about right.
Wow. If he had marked it sooner, I would have actually probably rushed Resting Grounds thinking, okay, that's early. I haven't been. It's probably Dream Nail.
Elegant Key was the Aura Dive Egg,
Oh, wow.
so that probably wasn't getting checked for a while.
No, I wouldn't have gone there until I wouldn't have gone to Edge until that was the last goal, probably. Because was C Dash found, or did you skip to?
It was at Essence.
There was one at couple hundred essence.
Oh, okay.
It was like 180 something, I think.
I just assumed he had skipped to Glowing Womb. Because especially I found the dash a little late, which was a little maddening. I found dash. I'm like, oh, well, this sucks. I had this stag since forever.
I was gonna go for the Essence dash, and then going for getting the Dream Warriors and just checking while I was there. I got dash.
When
Bye.
you marked
That's
when
it.
you marked NKG, I was working on Dream Trees.
Nice.
Oh, where was Grimchild?
Let me check.
Spirit's Glade.
Oh.
Oh,
looking
wow.
better.
I would have never got it. I would have never got that.
Yeah, that was basically just a free goal for whoever got Parry Revic.
That's
Well,
kind of
not
like
free,
how that's
but
kind of how like
You
how
can kind of assume the other
Stagnest-
person doesn't have it.
That's kind of how Stagnest, Fragment, and Wraiths went, since it was Wraiths.
Except that was more of a cool, the other person instantly knows Wraiths is there. It's
Yeah.
like they got marked at the same time.
Sitting there looking around, I'm like, where's the journals? I was grinding grubs pretty hard. I think I'm up to 18 grubs. Because I was sitting there thinking early on, I'm like, okay, I need to use 2 simple keys. There's a simple key on grubs. And then I find all 3 other simple keys. Okay. the one goal here that hurt me the most was Gorgeous Husk because I could have gotten that goal and then I didn't even see it.
Yeah, you had an advantage there too, because 56
Yeah.
was heading left.
Yeah, I was almost to limb. I had just hit the switch by the fountain. And I was like, wait a minute, that's a goal. Let me bench back and get it. And then nope.
Yeah, 56 was a couple of rooms ahead of you. You were both actually going for the vessel fragment above King Station at the same time.
We had dived. There was no excuse not to.
Yeah, but 56 headed left to try and get the Gorgeous Husk and fell off and then warped back to go do it again, and you went immediately right to King Station, so that was your
Yeah.
opportunity to get it, yeah.
Yeah, so I was going to skip off the other husk to go back up there. Yeah, if I remember that, I actually would have done that. I would have gone and killed Gorgeous Husk first and didn't think about it. I was sitting here thinking when I first marked Soul Tyrant what was taking so long, I'm like, worst case scenario, he's got Grimchild. Best case scenario, he's just working on Dream Trees and I might can snipe it. Because I was going to do... Because I got the Resting Grounds Dream Tree. I was about to finish the Ancestral Mound Dream Tree. I was going to do the QG Dream Tree. Not sure about the fourth one.
Yeah,
Probably
it
the one
says
heading down the base.
Legator.
Oh yeah, it probably would have been Legator now that I think about it because I have Ismas.
Yeah.
So yeah, it probably would have been Legator. And then at that point, I would have been hunting down. I would have checked Essence before hunting down the grubs and CPs. Because as soon as I got Dream now, I didn't even bother looking at Essence. I'm like, nope, rushing Soul Tyrant. I already had Soul Master beat, so it was just a quick climb up. GG's though. After this,
Yeah,
after this
GG.
now,
You
after this now, we'll be seeing
made a
Brad.
hell of a comeback once you ran into all the progression.
Yeah, I've done that. I've done that the last 2 in a row. It's like I'll start off really behind in goals, find something crazy, and then get up to like 9 or 10 goals before it ends.
Yeah. Alright, well, GG, I think that's about all we have for today. The next race is scheduled. I'll just check when it'll be me versus Under at Friday 31st July 6:30 p.m. EDT.
Nice.
So that should be good.
And I think there's
Not
another
to
one
talk
the next.
myself
I
up.
think there's also another one the next day.
Yeah, then your next one after that is 6 p.m. Saturday, 1st of August, between Jetfire and Mick.
That'd
my
be good.
commentator.
That'd be
So that should be really good as well.
That'd be a good one.
Right, well, if that's all, yeah, thanks for watching, everyone. Good luck, races in the rest of your races, and we'll cut the episode.
Alright.
Yeah.
Hang on, where are controls? There.